My pieces are generally about the allegory and the narrative, and sometimes the allegory can be complex. And so with this piece, I had a narrative, and I think that also sprung from a poem that I wrote that the piece came from. I've done a lot of pieces that are illustrations of my words, and as an illustrator, you often have to have an image that is very cohesive for such a broad narrative. I have the narrative, and you have so much going on, but then I filter it, and then I filter it, and I filter it until it's kind of an icon, until it's a catalyst for the metaphor and the visual metaphor. And so it's not so much all the things that are in there. It's made into one cohesive image that can give you partial closure. And by that I mean the amount of mental and emotional energy it takes to take in an image and what kind of questions you might form in your mind for that image. Well, this is the piece, and you'll see it's got a lot of imagery that I've simplified. If only to stand erect and unabashedly, to feel the shaft stripped from the wheat of the soul, to feel, perchance, to signify the meaning of her very existence. Overgrown in unkempt fields, marked dreams, unrequited, ashen, and brittle. Her warrior's plight seems outwardly devoid of fight, but long has the battle raged within, plowing the rock-strewn soil of her birthright and many of her righteous deaths. Strong brown fingers submitting to the toil of others, their crops abundantly irrigated with her grandmother's, her mother's, and her tears. Arise, black phoenix, and plant your seed of hopeful thought, of selfless act, of budding love of self. Unshielded, the heart of a generation, show your mettle to the maliciousness of history. O sister, embrace yourself in the armor of your righteous sagacity, the armor in your gift of love and creation, the armor of your scars and retribution, the armor and the persistence of your truth. See that flower that finds purchase in your blood, shining defiantly. A lot of times I put women in the armor or even the garb of Elizabethan or such, because as Black Americans, we don't know our tribe or language. We can't tell you where our great-grandmother came from, of what their language was. And so we have to don the clothing which represents the culture of where we are now. And a lot of times that produces a cultural post-traumatic stress disorder that hasn't been addressed for generations. I think that my purpose for not just painting what I feel and say, all right, this is something, and just look at it, whatever. I mean, I want an emotional, visual, even actual dialogue with, the viewer. I want them to not just walk by it and say, nice composition, and keep going. I want some sort of back and forth. In order to do that, you have to be immersed in the vibrations and the sounds and the smells and the culture of where the people are.